Shalom, shalom. We are on our way from Kitsi to Nairobi. And I just thought about something as we stop for tea. There's tea, natural tea, all over Kenya. It is really a breeding ground for black tea, green tea, etc. But what came to mind was Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3, Yoshiyahu chapter 1, verse 3. And it made me think about not only fauna and zoology, but it made me think about the children of Israel. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3, or Yoshiyahu, says that an ox knows his master, a donkey knows his own manager, but Israel do not consider. I want to show you how ox and cattle and cow and donkeys freely roam about the streets of Kenya, and many of them have no ropes or nothing to tie them down. They just freely roam, and at the end of the day they return home. But Israel do not consider. So I'm just going to turn this around so that you can see how many of these cows and oxen just roam freely. If you look in the street, let me show you how they just roam freely. You got them roam on the side of the road, and they always find their way back home. Why? Because they know their master. Why? Because they know where to go home. They know his manager. They always consider. But my people, Israel, they do not know. They do not consider. So I'm going to go right across the street here. I'm going to show you how cows and cattle, oxen, how they just freely roam, streets of Kenya. Freely. Many of them without a manager or without an owner that's guiding them, because they're always going to return home. They know their owner and they know their master. So I'm just going to go right over here so you can see some. So we just left a major plantation where they grow tea, and obviously that's colonized as well. It's owned by Europeans, but kind of managed by Kenyans, and they make millions and millions of dollars and sell it all over the world. Green tea, black tea. You got to know the old adage, black gold, so to speak. I wanted to see just these cows. How these cows just roam freely, eating, not necessarily and they always going to return back home. Yeshayahu chapter 1, verse 3. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. An ox knows his master. A donkey knows his own manager. But my people Israel do not consider. We roam and we become lawless, and we don't return back home. We don't know our master. We have been separated from our identity, our heritage, our land. And we've been separated ultimately from the Father. But look they just roam. You won't find this in the States. Most cows are within borders and gates, and they have hard boundaries so they won't escape. But this is true biblical culture. True biblical culture. Look at them. Go across the street here. And they just roam on the side of the road, eating. And sometimes it's miles away from their home. But come at night, they always return home. Yasharel, the children of Israel, we have to consider. Consider the beast. Consider the fowl of the air. Consider the ant. Consider the creeping, crawling things. They're all in harmonious fashion with what they were designed to do. The ox knows his master. The donkey knows his own manager. But Israel do not consider. They do not consider. This is remarkable. Remarkable. Biblical culture. Biblical. You see all the nuances of the Bible. You see the practicality and real. The Bible comes alive when you come here to Africa. Do me a favor. Don't just go to Ghana. You cheat yourself. Ghana is a remarkable place. But Ghana is only a piece of Africa. There's so much of Africa you have not seen yet, which is beautiful, remarkable, true biblical history, true biblical culture. Language is important. Language, the Bantu language is important. Language is not just a tool for communication, but it's a vehicle for culture. Look how the cows just roam freely. Because at the end of the day, they're going to return back to their master. At the end of the day, they return back to his manager. They have considered, but my people Israel, they do not know. They do not know their manager. They do not know their owner. We must wake up and return back to our owner, back to our manager, back to the Most High. We have wandered off on a strange path, away from his laws, away from his statutes, away from his covenant. We become lawless, roaming the streets of sin, roaming the streets of disobedience, never returning home. That's the story of the prodigal son. The story of the prodigal son is one in which we see where the son finally wakes up and says, I must return back home to my father. The prodigal son is parabolically, it's a parable full of a analogical speech, full of metonymies and similes and full of what we call mnemonics. And the mnemonics draw you back to something that was previously said in the Tanakh, or the what many call the Old Testament. And it's drawing us back to Yeshayahu chapter 1 verse 3. That the beasts of the field, they know their master, they know their owner. But Israel do not consider. While the beasts of the field will return home, not our people. We love being in the hog pen, much like the prodigal son. The word prodigal means a squanderer of resources. We have squandered our resources. And the only way for us to survive is back to our owner, back to our master, back to Abba Yahuwah. This is a beautiful, beautiful sight. Take a look here at the scenery here. Just beautiful. The mountains, the hills of Kenya. It's such a beautiful sight. What an awesome sight to behold. To behold his splendor, to behold his auspiciousness. We see the sovereignty of the Most High. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praises be to the Most High. Even consider the child. He's in awe of me, but really I'm in awe of him. Look what he have. He have 2 sticks with a wheel. Sometimes it's all they have to play with. All they have to entertain their young minds. While we live in luxury and in a Western society, but they are We are advanced in technology, but they are so far more advanced than we are. The simplicity of life. Look at that. Isn't it awesome? That's awesome. Soon, this young lad, as he roamed the streets, probably should be in day school or boarding school, but as he roamed the street, he's going to return back home. He's going to return back home. Israel, it's time to return back home. As the child who roams the street, as the ox, as the donkey roam the side of the road, they will return back home. Hallelujah. 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 Look at the miles and miles of tea leaves. Tea all over. Through the people and the agronomy, the agricultural system. The way how people rise up early to go into the marketplace. To the cows who are just roaming the streets. They have no rope. They have no shackles because they know their owner. They know their master. They are going to return. Israel, here's a question for you. When will you return back to the Father? Back to the covenant? Back to the laws and the statutes that was given to you, Israel, that you may live. Man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Almighty Yahuwah. This is awesome. This is awesome. All praises be to the Most High. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Every moment, as I taught my children, who are mostly all adults, every moment is a learning moment. Every moment is a teaching moment. And being here on a continent, particularly Kenya, I'm blown away by Kenya. We've been to Nigeria and we've been to Ghana several times and on our way back for a third time in Ghana and soon to be in South Africa in January and Liberia as we establish a community in Liberia and we'll be end of August we'll have a community in Republic of Colombia, and I'm quite sure South America is a beautiful place to go, to visit, to live. I'm quite sure we can find cultural engagement and cultural exploration there. But folks, there's nothing, absolutely nothing like Kenya. 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 Tanzania. It's an eponymous name. The name of Yah is in multiple countries in Africa. So as I sign off, Yeshayahu, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knows its master. The donkey knows its manager. But Israel have not considered. Unlike this one here, who has not been yet tamed, or they put it there to eat the specific grass areas. We too must be tied until we learn the discipline, tied down to, and that's what the law does. It keeps us, it trains us. That's why the law is our tutor. It's a tutor. It's to train us that once we become free in Messiah, not to roam off. So now we no longer would need the rope. No longer need something as a boundary. Because once we learn, our home will always return. Shalom, shalom, everyone, from the beautiful, beautiful country of Kenya. Shalom, shalom, and shalom.